and welcome my fire sign friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be a group reading for my Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius friends. These are my fire zodiac signs. As we end 2019 and head into 2020, this is a perfect time to look at what the year holds for you. This mapping process is something that tarot is excellent at. It really connects in and helps show you what to expect in the future. I completed a mapping session for my zodiac friends in October, and I created a spread for that Halloween reading. I have reworked the spread to fit it into this reading because I didn't want just another mapping out session to look at those 12 months. What I wanted was something that was going to map out the next 12 months, looking at what the month was going to bring you, but also look at those blessings. That's a big part of it. What positive, high vibrational energy can we expect and really bring in for that month? So this is what the reading's gonna look like. So it's a very, well, if you break it down, a basic reading. It's a 3-card spread for each month. I'm not going to be flipping back and forth like I usually do between video and the spread. I'm going to be focusing in on the cards. There's a link below if you want a visual on what the spread is that I'm reading from. You can access that as we go along. Now the decks I chose for this reading are the Smith-Waite Tarot deck. It's the Centennial edition, and also the Energy Oracle. Like always, there are links below to both these wondrously fantastic decks. So should they speak to you, my fire signs, you can go check them out for yourselves. All right, let's get going on this. We're going to start off with the year. What card symbolizes my fire zodiac signs for 2020? Got some jumpers there. Got a few jumpers. All right, we're good. All right, my fire signs, let's get started. So you had 3 jumpers. The first one, the 7 of Swords. 7s are a challenge card, yet victorious. The number 7 is actually a very lucky number. And the 7 of Swords, swords are about truth and knowledge. The 7 is more of a warning about trying to get away with just a little too much. And also knowing that individuals in your life are also going to be doing the same. So we're starting off 2020 where we have to really keep our eyes wide open, really taking that step back, slowing down, and really assessing what's happening in our world. Not only so that we can really do justice to what it is we can do and not trying to get away with too much, and knowing that people will possibly be trying to get away with a little too much with you. So being accountable not only for your actions, but holding people accountable for theirs. The 10 of Pentacles. It's a fantastic card. 10s are an ending and a beginning. Pentacles about that growth and abundance. This is a family card. Family is going to be key. And I don't mean just your physical birth family. Yes, they're going to have a key role to play as well. This is much more. It can be adoptive family. It could be really close friends that you can consider family. It's also your astral family and all those high vibrational beings that have really played a role in your life. They're going to really be important and essential in 2020. And the 2 of Cups. 2s are about duality and choice. Cups, about that intuition and emotion. The 2 of Cups is known as the lesser lovers. The reason it's called the lesser lovers isn't because the intimacy and love isn't as grand. This is an everyday aspect where the lovers truly embody, they're the archetype of love. This is the archetype in motion, if you will. Now this love isn't just about your relationship Are your relationships. Those really intimate relationships you have in your life. Yes, part of it will be that romantic other, but it's also that relationship with yourself and healing yourself. We have the caduceus here, and that caduceus is really standing out right now for me. Healing that relationship and strengthening your relationship with your higher self, and in some cases, that relationship with that important other, that your significant other, that soulmate. There are a few of you that will be finding your soulmate in 2020, and you're going to be able to find those out through private readings and also the cards that are coming up. Really listening to that inner self, your intuition for that guidance. So overall 2020 is going to be pretty awesome for you. Yes, we have to slow down. Family's going to be important, and again, that connection in is going to be really key. And some of you may even be doing some healing with that family of origin. Again, that caduceus really stands out, that healing. The caduceus is the symbol of the medical model. That healing aspect is going to be key and a key part of this 2020 journey. Let's look at the challenge. What challenges will got jumpers here. Fire sign, zodiac, they're just jumping out left, right, and center here, guys. Signs face in 2020. Okay. Oh, okay, it's not bad. I thought that a whole bunch of them fell out in my first shuffle. The first one, Knight of Swords. Knight's that no fear adolescent energy that is going head on, and in this case, head on into a storm. The Knight of Swords is a very chaotic energy because he's going helter-skelter straight into that storm. You can see how the clouds are still really impacting his head. He does not have the guidance and stability of his dad, the King of Swords. It's going to be that helter-skelter, going forward without thinking energy that's really going to impact us, because we're not going to slow down to pay attention. We're going to try and get away with too much, and we're going to be called on it, and it's going to suck. People are going to get away with stuff that we're not noticing. That slowing down and slowing that horse down is going to be imperative. With him, the Ace of Pentacles jumped. 2020 is going to be kind of an unbalancing energy for you. We've got that Knight of Swords that's running head on into the storm. But this energy of ungrounded and uncenteredness is really going to cause problems. We're really going to have to be really mindful of that duality, that balancing act. It's going to be key to really helping embrace that healing and that connection piece with relationships. All right, let's go on to the blessing. What blessing, go jump already, can my fire sign zodiac signs embrace, got another jumper, in 2020? Okay, so the first one, doors to personal healing and happiness. That, like I said before, that healing is going to be key, right? That caduceus. Opening those doors to healing not only yourself, but those around you, for that happiness, to see those things flourish, to see those relationships flourish, to see those people start to really embrace that positive, high vibrational energy. With it, door to value. As everybody in your life starts to raise their vibration, my fire signs, you're going to start to notice that abundance piece really starting to rise. We're starting to see that happiness here, but happiness is also connected to abundance, because to be successful in our lives, we need that abundance piece. As much as we'd hate to really acknowledge and really say, yes, abundance is important, material wealth does matter, because we do need to pay the bills and we need to put food on our tables. All right, let's break down 2020 a bit more. We're going to start off with January in position 1 here, and we're going to follow through to the end of December. So let's start off with January, my fire signs. What card? Oh, we have a couple jumpers here. Symbolizes January for my fire sign zodiac friends. All right. The first one, the 9 of Swords. 9s are about all that has happened and all that you've achieved. Swords about truth and knowledge. The 9 of Swords talks about those past experiences that we hold, and we're holding on to, and not in a good way. They're the low vibrational feelings that we've attached to situations and events. And let's be honest, we've all lived through situations and events that have been pretty crappy. And those low vibrational feelings, you've attached them appropriately. We just haven't released them. Releasing that energy is a key part to this healing. 2020 offers you the ability to make some major shifts here. Starting off on the 9 of Swords may look harsh. However, when you start to really address some of these past situations and those feelings that you've attached to those situations, you're going to see some of this healing shift. Now, Swords, they are about the situation, not about that emotion. We can release situations. Many of us don't remember our grocery shopping trips 3 weeks ago when we went and got some essential things for our house because, well, let's be honest. Most of us were like, well, I think I got milk, because it's not something that we've held on to. It's an event. We learned the sales of that week and we moved on. Information itself, we can process and move forward. It's that emotion piece. Those emotions that we need to address, acknowledge, and release. We cannot assimilate or transmute low vibrational energy into something positive in our lives, like something positive in our bodies. We hold it, and it's kind of like a gunky film, and it's about starting to release and work on those past experiences so the gunk starts to fade away, and so does those emotions and those situations. They don't come up as much. With it jumped the 3 of Cups. January is going to offer us the ability to work on those pieces, but we don't have to do it alone. That's the piece. 3s, especially the 3 of Cups, you're looking at the triple aspect. Cups are about emotion and intuition, that connection in. I said in the 2 of Cups, that connection to yourself, that higher self, is going to be important. That connection in and teamwork regarding those individuals on the physical plane and spiritual plane are going to be really important. That community you're going to build will help you really overcome those swords. All right, let's look at that challenge. What challenge will my fire sign zodiac friends face in January? The Empress, 3rd card in the major arcana, all about growth and abundance. That abundance piece is going to be our downfall. We are going to want to create, and we're going to want to make things happen. That fertility is going to be high in the air, and we're just going to want to go and do something, anything, and dealing with that. Because we don't like to deal with those hard pieces. It hurts, it's gunky, it's messy. The Empress offers us a way out. Your ego will be really embracing the Empress, saying, well, look, why don't we just create something amazing and avoid pain and hardship? That way, we can stay in our box and all is good. Which avoids these connections, those important connections. which would also avoid that abundance and healing and happiness. All right, let's look at the blessing for January. Because let's be honest, our ego has the easier way out. However, the easy route is not always the best route. What blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in January? Walking away. I won't lie, sometimes I'll do a whole spiel about something and then in 2 words, a deck will get it in one go. Walking away. We need to release and get away from those lower vibrational energies that are holding us back. Holding us back from that happiness, that healing, and that, well, abundance piece. Let's go into February. What card symbolizes February for my fire sign zodiac friends? Six of Pentacles. What a fantastic card. That balancing piece. Balancing your energies, your growth, your abundance, not only with different aspects of yourself, but those around us. It goes back into the Ten of Pentacles. That need for growth, that need to share. When we start to share what's around us, that is when we really find things, these abundance pieces, really being equally spread, raising the vibration of those around us, creating more happiness, creating more abundance. One thing I didn't say about January, we've got multiple 3s here, and we also have 34 and 31. So we've got more 3s. In angel messages, 3s are about something close to your heart needing to be expressed. And that's really clear. We've really got to release that. Okay, back to February. That balancing piece is going to be key. It's going to help with that abundance, but it's going to really help kind of bring people up. February is a connection month. It's a love month. We need to work with those important individuals around us in bringing them up as well. Let's look at the challenge. What challenge there we go, will February bring to my fire sign zodiac friends? The 8 of Swords. The 9 hasn't quite released with us. The 8 is kind of a build up to the same type of emotions. And the 8 really highlights how you can get into the 9 of Swords. The Swords is past situations and events. You really can't release them. They feel like they're caging you in. The emotion you've attached to those situations and events have started to bind you up and blindfold you. Not only your eyes, but your third eye. So you really struggle. So February is bringing in those very hard experiences and throwing them back in your face. Your ego, when it can't get you to stay in your box by showing you abundance and creativity, it's going to scare you back into your box, because that way the ego has a better ability to control you. Those past pains and experiences are gonna really flare up again, or still, if you will. It's just gonna be a continuation, just in a different facet in your world. Balancing is gonna help to really bring your energies to a different level. Focusing in on those positive aspects of yourself and of others will help shift out of the 8. Let's look at the blessing. What blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in February? Victory. What a fantastic card. Victory in making sure that those around you are feeling very supported and that you were able to balance your life out. But victory over some of these lower vibrational feelings that we're having, so we can raise our vibration and look at that abundance piece. What a fantastic card to really embrace in February. Let's go on to March. What card symbolizes March for my fire sign zodiac friends? We're really focusing in on those swords, the Two of Swords. That duality and choice. The Two of Swords really talks about needing to make choices and being uncertain about it, not knowing where to go. Again, that blindfold is over her eyes and third eye. She's not getting the full picture. The first thing I said is that we need to slow down and really evaluate what's happening, critically think. March really embodies that importance of being able to slow down so you can truly see the picture, the bigger picture, to make the most balanced choice. Again, in February, we're looking at that balance piece, that duality, making sure that we keep ourselves balanced. Said balance was going to be important. Both February and March are bringing in balance cards. All right, let's look at the challenge. What challenge will my fire sign zodiac friends face in March? Had a jumper? The Queen of Pentacles. Queens are that nurturing, loving energy. Pentacles are about that growth and abundance. They're connected into the earth. I said grounding is going to be a challenge for you. March is going to highlight how kind of unstable we feel. We're going to feel really unrooted and insecure about things. Also, we're not going to be taking care of ourselves very well. That nurturing, loving energy isn't supporting us. It's crossing us. We really need to focus in on that balance, that grounding, and loving ourselves. Taking the time to heal and care for ourselves. That's going to be an important part of your journey. And you'll see a lot of amazing shifts happen when you take a little time for you. Let's look at the blessing. What blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in March? The Magician and the Mirror. Very much connected into the Magician Major Arcana card, talking about using your abilities and skills to really create and manifest in our lives. Balancing the dark and the light, and creating and really drawing down, he's got the infinity symbol too, that universal energy to really ignite all those natural skills and abilities that you have. And what's more is that there's a mirror here. It's the Magician and the Mirror. That mirror piece is going to be important. Like I said, that nurturing, loving space is going to be your challenge. You need to be reflecting some of this healing energy and your focus onto you, not onto everybody else. We've got that balance piece. It's all throughout here. We really need to not only nurture those around us, but ourselves as well. Let's go on to April. What card symbolizes April for my fire sign zodiac friends? The Nine of Cups. It talks about all that we've achieved in our lives and all that wealth and amazingness that we have. This is really a build-up. As we start to go through all these experiences and events that are holding us down, if we start to shift our energies, even the slightest little shift, as we slowly shift out, we can really start to embrace all those skills, abilities, and coping mechanisms that have got us this far. April gives us a time to really reflect and be joyous about what it is we've accomplished in our lives. Because let's be honest, my friends, it's a lot. Let's look at the challenge. What challenge does April bring my fire sign zodiac friends? Okay, we have a couple jumpers. Oh, this is a fantastic card. This is another rendition of the Lovers. This deck was really kind of created by Pamela Coleman Smith. She put this card in as kind of a second Lovers, if you will. It doesn't have a number to it, but it talks about that loving relationship. And it's going to be that relationship piece that gets in our way. Relationships are important. 2020 is really bringing my fire signs some relationship pieces. Now, for those who are in a current relationship, you may find that your partner is trying to pull you and push you into different ways, and you're not able to really embrace and celebrate what you want. If you are looking for that relationship piece, you're really going to find that that kind of Twitter-pated energy is going to cause a little bit of craziness in your life, because you're going to need to and want to focus in on all that you've achieved, that abundance, because this abundance piece is creating happiness in your life, which is also helping with the healing. When we focus in on the positive, we raise our vibration. Raising our vibration helps heal us and really helps us to manifest those things that we want in our lives. With the Lovers, jump the Three of Swords. Yet another three to jump into all these threes that we have. The Three of Swords talks about heartache. That's how I know that relationship piece is going to be a challenge for you, but past relationships are going to be a challenge. We're really going to see those past experiences come out, that heartache come up. Some of you may even see a relationship dissolve in April. Remembering, when we have a relationship that dissolves, we're looking at a relationship that wasn't suited for who you truly are. Those positive changes you've been making in your life. We're starting to really see that those relationships that are not built on that loving, unconditional, supportive energy start to topple. And that's important because these lower vibrational relationships that are built on other aspects other than unconditional love and support and balance. We'll go back to that positive balance relationship. So both parties are getting something positive out of the relationship. Those positive supportive relationships aren't going to be impacted. It's the ones that are really focused in on those unbalanced and unnurturing and unsupportive relationships. They're the ones that are going to become unraveled. These relationships don't serve your higher purpose or your greater good. They actually draw you down and lower your vibration. When we start to make positive changes, not everybody in our lives are going to be supported or attracted to us anymore. They may need to take that step back because we are really making some great shifts and very necessary shifts in our lives. So that heartache piece is going to be the challenge. When we are dealing with relationship issues, focusing in on that positive, and those positive relationships will help us overcome that heartache. Let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in April? The Sun. That unconditional, loving, nurturing, positive energy, that's what we need to embrace in April, my fire friends. This is very closely related to the Sun card of the tarot. It's talking about those loving, positive energies that we can really embrace. Like I said, focusing in on the positive will help lessen those heartaches and those relationship problems. And I'm not talking avoidance. It's talking about how to overcome those sad, lower vibrational energies. Let's move on to May. What card symbolizes May for my fire sign zodiac friends. The King of Swords. Kings are that fully developed personality. Swords about truth and knowledge. May is really getting us out of our heart and into our head. That importance of focusing on knowledge rather than heart will help us really come to terms with what happened in April, but help us move forward. That critical thinking will really help guide us and help give us strength throughout the month. Let's look at the challenge. What challenge, jumper, will my fire sign zodiac friends face in May? Okay, we've got a couple of them. The first one, Two of Wands. Yet another two. We had the Two of Swords up in February. Now we have the Two of Wands. That indecision and uncertainty is really going to give us a challenge. Now the Wands are closely associated with our solar plexus, that third chakra that deals with our inner strength and our inner fire and passion. That indecision is going to impact us, but also that solar plexus, we're going to find that it really starts to struggle in May. Your whole system is impacted by what happened in April. When we're looking at heartache, that's one of the few pains that we really struggle with. And as emotional beings, it's something that that really, well, cuts close to the heart. But our solar plexus is going to really be struggling. All our chakras will be kind of trying to work overtime to get that energy flow to work properly. But in May, we're going to see that that solar plexus is sluggish and we really need to kick it into gear. Really highlighted by this card as well. The 7th card in the major arcana, the Chariot. Again, we're looking at that inner fire, that inner willpower, that drive. The Chariot drives his very concrete chariot with no reins against those two Sphinx. So again, we're back to that solar plexus chakra, that need to really nurture and love and work on that solar plexus and our inner willpower and drive. The Chariot highlights the need for balance and how we're going to feel unbalanced. That balancing piece, like I said at the very beginning, is going to be key. So making sure that we have all aspects of our lives in a balanced state and working on that. Going back to the healing and self-love that we really talked about at the beginning of the reading. Let's go on to a blessing. What blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in May? Woman holding a coin, that divine feminine energy that helps us create. It's kind of funny because we've got the woman holding a coin right up against, snuggled up against the King of Swords. Again, it goes back to that balance piece, that yin and yang. It's going to be very important to not only keep our balance, but keep things in perspective. His knowledge will really embrace her abundant and fertility. She kind of reminds me very much of the Queen of Pentacles, where she's holding her coin, and the fact that she has this amazing little feline cat with her. That very independent energy of the Queen. So making sure that we really embrace that feminine energy and that independent, nurturing energy. Goes back to that healing and happiness. When we start to heal and work on ourselves, that's when we start to see that abundance piece come in. All right, let's skip on to June. What card symbolizes June for my fire sign zodiac friends? The Knight of Wands. Like I said before, Knights are that energetic, no fear energy. Wands about solar plexus. Now, how much energy and support and fearlessness that this night has will depend on how much we're able to really nurture and love our solar plexus. Really diving into that willpower, drive, and determination. He is a wand. He is connected into these two cards. When we're looking at June, we are looking at a time where we're going to be able to really focus in our drive, our willpower, our passion and creativity, and make things happen. That's going to be really important. This kind of giddy up and go is focused and is also really supported by this king. It's kind of an upward swing to the end of the year. I should say, now we do have double knights here. Knights are the 12th card in the minor arcana. In angel messages, you're looking at a time of spiritual growth and awakening, and that you have the ability to manifest your dreams. I also should mention we've got double twos. 2 of Wands, 2 of Swords. In angel messages, that tells you to keep the faith and don't give up. It's imperative that you listen to your intuition so that you're able to really connect in and go forward. All right, let's look. Oh, sorry, I'm catching all these doubles. Sevens. The 7 of Swords, and then the Chariot, that's the 7th card in the major arcana. When we're looking at double sevens, you're looking at a spirit number. The angels are telling you that you're on the right track. Keep going. All right, let's go back to June and look at that challenge. What challenge will my fire sign zodiac friends face in June? The Tower. The Tower is the 16th card in the major arcana, and it speaks about sudden change. Those sudden changes are really going to impact the night. Changes are inevitable. Depending on how much work we've done here will depend on how much this is going to impact us. When we work on that change, the Tower has a lesser impact, lesser kind of abruptness, if you will. We're working on those changes, he's going to have a little less kick to him. Focusing in and resisting the Tower will cause a lot of problems, not only for you emotionally, but you're really going to reduce the amount of action and growth that you can potentially see in June. Let's look at the blessing. What blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in June? Community. Very much connected into the 3 of Cups, however, has another number 7, that lucky number. Keeping on that you're on the right track and that you need to keep going. That community piece is going to be key. We already said relationships is going to be an important aspect of it, but it comes back down to, again, that supportive community. And this community is not just in your physical plane, it's also in your spiritual and astral planes. Really connecting in so that you're able to overcome those challenges and hardships brought on by the Tower, and really embrace and support that night to push you forward and really bring your talents and skills to a new level. All right, let's go on to July. What card symbolizes July for my fire sign zodiac friends? The 4 of Wands, a celebration card. It's a fantastic card to see. We're looking at celebrating again all that we've achieved and overcoming those challenges brought on by the Tower. This is really, to me, it's showing a rite of passage almost. We've managed to get going on this horse and we're really starting to go. Celebrating that accomplishment and connection in and kind of kickstarting your solar plexus, if you will, and taking that gate and getting going. Taking that rite of passage and starting on that next piece, starting that journey from a different and more grounded, passion-centered space, which is really going to kick things up in this latter part of the year. Let's look at the challenges for July. What challenges, got a jumper there, will my fire sign zodiac friends face in July? The Four of Swords. The Four of Swords talks about rest and rejuvenation. Now fours, we've got fours crossing fours here. Fours are all about that foundation and stability. We're going to find not only in July do we feel stable, we're also going to feel a little unstable. That rest and rejuvenation goes back to that healing piece. We're going to be avoiding that healing and rest that we need. It's been a heck of a first 6 months. We need a little bit of a pause. However, we're really going to be feeling that fire come through, and we're going to really want to push forward and push ourselves a little bit too much. Connects back into the Seven of Swords with getting away with too much, when you're pushing yourself too hard. In angel messages, when you're looking at that double fours, it talks about that need to really focus in on that foundation and structure to give yourself that new and stronger platform to function from. All right, let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in July? Woman holding a heart. We've gone from the coin to the heart. Really focusing in on yourself, loving yourself so that you are able to love others. Really focusing in on that heart chakra, and our heart chakra really deals with not only giving love to those in our lives, but receiving it. That rest and rejuvenation, really focusing in on that healing aspect and loving yourself time will really connect in. Interestingly enough, 44. I'm not entirely sure if you guys got it when I said it the last time. That stability and structure is going to be really imperative in July. You're really building that foundation for the next 6 months. So working on self and connecting in with self, yes, celebrating, but connecting in and allowing yourself to heal will bring you a better shift in the latter part of the year. Let's move on to August. What card symbolizes August for my fire sign zodiac friends? The Seven of Cups. This is known as the Seven Deadly Sins card, and it brings about uncertainty and kind of mystery, if you will. There's a mist of unknown, mystery, and indecision, that unknown aspect. The seven deadly sins, one of them or a couple of them will be very important for you on your journey. It's going to be determining what is going to bring you the most value, healing, and happiness, and connection in to others, which is really a choice and a determination on an individual basis. These cups are going to be presented to you. It's going to be your challenge to overcome and to determine which one is going to be most beneficial for you. Let's look at what other challenge August is going to bring for my fire sign zodiac friends. The Eight of Cups. The resistance to go inwards. Eights are about movement and manifestation. Those cups are about intuition and emotion. The Eight of Cups talks about that inner journey, that need to go within to find the answers. Going inward would really help you determine which of these cups is going to be most important to you. However, we're going to resist that because we have uncertainty and unexpected situations coming up. this resistance to go inwards, because we have the month that already has this kind of mist and haze of unclarity and uncertainty that we need to overcome and get through. The last thing we want to do is go inwards. However, inwards is where you're going to find your answer. It's kind of a catch-22. When you're starting to feel that uncertain energy, the last thing you're going to want to do is go inwards. We're going to resist that. It's going to be kind of, again, taking that pause and step back to clearly and critically think about what it is we're seeing and trying to accomplish. Now, we do have double eights. We've got the Eight of Swords, we've got the Eight of Cups. In angel messages, what they're saying to you is to stay true to your passions, because abundance and prosperity is coming your way. Additionally, we have sevens. We've got more sevens. Not entirely sure you've got many more sevens left in the deck, but you've got sevens. Again, the angels are telling you that you're on the right track. Keep going. All right, let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in August? Perfect card. The thinking woman. That critical thinking is going to be imperative. Now, she's the 47th card in the deck. Fours, again, that stability and foundation. Sevens, keep going, you're on the right track. All of it really highlights that importance of stopping, pausing, thinking about what's happening, so that you can start to build that foundation on a very clear mind with the tools and skills that you need to open these doors. We need that foundation to get to these doors, and this is really key to these doors. Let's go on to September. What card symbolizes September for my fire sign zodiac friends? Okay, got a jumper. Temperance. What a beautiful card. The 14th card in the major arcana. She speaks about balance and energy flow. We've got 1 foot on the land, so in the physical world, and 1 foot in the water, in that spiritual emotional realm. She is flowing water, and she's doing it to defy gravity, upwards, not downwards. That energy flow within is going to be really important. And the angel that Pamela Coleman Smith has drawn here is Iris, the messenger goddess of the Greek pantheon. When we start to spend time making sure we're grounded and our energy flows are moving in a healthy, positive manner, that's when we're going to feel really connected in. We're going to really raise our vibration, and that's when we're going to really see things start to come in. Those messages will come fast and furious. So we have the 14th card in the minor arcana, and we have the 14th card in the major arcana. In angel messages, when you have that double 14, it symbolizes love and spiritual growth. So September is really working on that balancing and energy flow and working on that connectedness. And if you saw any of my October videos, you'll know that in September, around the middle of the month, that's when the veil starts to thin and that connection becomes easier. Let's look at the challenge. What challenge do my fire sign zodiac friends face in September? Oh no, you had one more 7. 7 of Pentacles. That hard work is really going to feel like hard work. If you see, you can see how he's really worked hard, and he has this amazing, abundant bush of pentacles. In the background, it's very barren. He's had to work his hiney off, and he looks like he's done it. He's worked really hard. And it's going to be that feeling of burnout and exasperation that's going to really impact us. Let's be honest, this is a lot of work. We've got a lot of challenge and obstacles that we're going to have to face. goes back down to that self-care, self-love, and really knowing our boundaries. Being able to call it as it comes in, so we are able to heal and raise our vibration to bring in that happiness and abundance, rather than just keep working and working and working and over exerting ourselves. Working smarter rather than harder. Let's look at the blessing. What blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in September? Patience. Having patience with yourself, having patience with others, having patience with the universe. This is going to be a journey. We can't just expect it to happen right away. That said, as a collective, we really don't have the patience. We don't have delayed gratification. We want things right now when we need them. We've kind of lost that skill of patience. Because to make things happen, we are going to have to allow things to unfold and grow and heal at their own rate. All right, let's go on to October. What card symbolizes October? Got a jumper there? For my fire sign zodiac friends. The Five of Wands, that conflict. And it's not so much about like a physical fight. This is about competing values and passions. This is the inner willpower, that drive, right? These people are not actually hitting each other. They're hitting each other's wands. It's that competition piece. There's going to be a lot of that kind of banging of sticks, if you will, that competition to try and get their passion and point of view across. Fives are always about conflict. Wands are about that inner fire and inner passion. It's about trying to corral this misdirected energy, redirecting it so it can be converted into a high vibrational energy to create, rather than a low vibrational energy of conflict and anger. If that wasn't enough challenge, let's look at what the obstacle is. What is the main obstacle? Got a jumper there. Is my fire sign zodiac friends going to be challenged with in October? Okay, we had a jumper fly out. Got this spaced wrong here. There we go. Strength. She's the 8th card in the Major Arcana, and she talks about that inner passion and drive that we have, that connection into the universe, and a connection. There's a second hidden infinity symbol with the wreath around her waist and around the lion's neck. That inner strength, passion, and drive that we have is going to be misdirected. We already have a very conflicted and conflictual energy going on in the month. Our own energies are going to be picking up on that and being confused by what direction to pick. How do we go forward? Like I said before, 8s are about movement and manifestation. We've had a number of 8s back here. And that movement and manifestation has been really stopped because our strength, our inner core again, is having problems. We're really looking at working on not only our connection in, but our connection to self. I mentioned that when we started off with the 2 of Cups. Part of this is going to be that connection to that inner self, to that inner fire, your inner passions. So working on that solar plexus along with your heart chakra will help really connect into your true potential and your true abilities, which will really help chase out that confusion and conflicted energy. Let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in October? deceit. Goes right into that 5. Those conflicting energies. Very much picking up on the 7 of Swords here. That conflict and battle. Knowing that people are not always truthful and not paying attention. When we don't pay attention, that's when they get away with it. That stopping, reflecting, and really paying attention to what's happening is really going to be imperative. We're really going to be misdirected and kind of led by all this conflict and conflictual energy. With the misalignment of strength, it's easy to miss what others are going to try and do. Let's go on to November. What card symbolizes November? Jumper there? For my fire sign Zodiac friends. The 4 of Pentacles. I've already said back here in July how 4s are about that stable structural energy. November's going to help realign some of that stability, that growth and centeredness. We're really feeling that centered, he's holding on to his pentacle, that centered energy. Making sure you've got that growth, connecting in. We just dealt with the Temperance, that energetic balance card. When we start to focus in on that, not only if we bring Temperance in through October, she'll help really kind of bring strength back to the right side. It'll help with that foundational piece. We're going to see that. We're going to see some growth and abundance in November that's going to cause that reconnection with that stable, secure energy. All right, let's look at what the challenge is. What obstacle will my fire sign Zodiac friends face in November? The Knight of Pentacles. Like I said before, Knights are that adolescent, determined, no fear energy. Again, we're dealing with the Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, and it's very evident in this deck because this is a deck by Pamela Coleman Smith. He's not in motion. The other guys are running around. He is working the fields. And again, we go back to that overexertion, overworked energy, where you're trying to really almost beat a dead horse, if you will. That kind of energy, where you're really trying to get things done, but getting nowhere because you're really exhausted and not taking care of self. Goes back down to that centered, balanced energy. All right, let's go on to a blessing. What blessing can my fire sign Zodiac friends embrace in November? Okay, we have a jumper here. Appreciation. Appreciating, and it goes back down to that door of happiness and healing. Appreciating all that you have created. All that has happened throughout the year and years. We have created amazingness in our lives, my fire sign Zodiacs. Really appreciating what we have in our life, what we've created, and more importantly, who we have in our lives. Because throughout this kind of roller coaster of the year, these people that we've been kind of trying to work on their relationship piece and strengthening that, they've been with us, working with us on this, connecting in. We've seen them come in a number of times. They're there throughout the year. And that's going to be an important piece. Appreciating and giving back to them as well. And we'll move on to our final month, December. What card symbolizes December for my fire sign Zodiac friends? The 5 of Pentacles. This talks about isolation and feeling alone. That disconnect, if you will. It's kind of where you're looking at a plateau almost. There's been so much that you've been working on that things are kind of coming back full circle almost to really focusing in on that despair. The more you have worked on throughout the year, your connection in and that healing aspect, you're going to find the less this card is impacting you. The less isolated you're feeling. That disconnect doesn't feel as predominant. This connection piece, this family, your astral family, is going to be very important. If you're connected into them, you're not going to feel this disconnect. It's going to be more of a, oh, it's December. It kind of feels cold and icky. Your guides, guardians, your passed on loved ones, your astral family would be there to support, to guide and nurture you out of that low vibrational energy. That energy will be there in December. It's how much we connect into it that will make the biggest difference. Let's look at the obstacle. What obstacle does December challenge? Oh, we got my jumper there. My fire sign zodiac friends with. We've got a couple of them. The first one, the Page of Swords. That inexperienced knowledge comes back. He too has his head in the clouds. His sword of truth and knowledge has not descended fully from the heavens. Those assumptions will be fast and furious, assuming the worst rather than the best. And we know it's going to be the worst because we've got that low vibrational energy starting off the month. With that inexperience, the page doesn't have the ability to know how to go forward. He doesn't know what is assumption, what is true, and he does not have the critical thinking skills of his dad. That taking a step back and really reflecting in on what is truly happening and what is assumption and actually not occurring. With him, jump the Three of Wands. Three of Wands talks about that need to go forward. Let's be honest, we're not going to want to hang out in this kind of low vibrational, isolated feeling. It's going to feel yucky. We're going to want to get going and get moving because we've already had this come up, the multiple threes. Something close to our heart needs to be expressed. We want to go express it. That need to go forward. However, he's being led by a blinded Page of Swords who doesn't have the experience to direct and to be a leader. So December will bring about some real low vibrational and confusing energies. Again, that connection in will be imperative to help direct you to the right aspect. You don't want to go into January of 2021 on confused and kind of isolated, lonely, lower vibrations. We want to end off on a high. We want to end off with abundance, with healing, and with happiness. I hope you enjoyed this reading and that you found some direction into what 2020 is going to possibly bring you. And I say possibly because this is a map. At any given time, we can really start working and addressing situations, and it alters and changes the rest of it. It's the butterfly effect, if you will. If you connect into December and you manage to turn the Empress as an ally and you're able to really overcome the Nine of Swords, that impacts the rest of these cards because you're going to be entering February on a very different level, a higher vibration rather than the lower vibration, which impacts the rest of them. And that can happen anywhere. Free will is a gift to mankind. It's really up to us to embrace and use this to the greatest of our advantage. Hello, my Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius friends. I do want to apologize. After I'd finished filming the original reading, I found out that I forgot to do the December blessing, and I wanted to go back and give you that blessing. However, I didn't want to go back and redo all the cards because I think a lot of them are very important for you guys. So I wanted just to go forward with this, the original spread, and just give you guys the blessing card in this little excerpt here. So what blessing can my fire sign zodiac friends embrace in December? Rest and rejuvenation. I think that really sums up a lot about what I was talking about in the other months. We had a lot of resting, healing, and rejuvenating cards. That importance of self-healing and self-love, not only does it connect into your year cards, but it will also help overcome some of the challenges brought on by those isolated and kind of chaotic energies that December is presenting you with. So as I said at the beginning of this reading, this is a group reading. And this is to deal with 3 very strong and vibrant fire zodiac signs. I do these mapping sessions out for my clients all the time. So if you're interested in a private reading or a private mapping out session, you can follow the link below to schedule a private reading with myself. Again, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. You really never know where I'm going to go next, and I'd hate for you to miss a video. I am a very creative tarot reader and spread creator, and I also am a very fluid poster. So you really never know which days I'll have new videos and new content ready. So staying subscribed and hitting that little red bell helps you stay on top of all this great and fantastic information that the cards want to share with you. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I have provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius friends.